Welcome back everyone. Today we are doing 8 don'ts for Barbados, and if you're new to the channel, please stay and watch. Welcome in, thank you again. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back, and let's jump into it. At number 1 we have do not wear camouflage. I have to stress this quite a bit because it is illegal to wear camouflage in Barbados. So if you're coming in from another country to visit, to stay, please do come, but do not wear anything that is in the colours of camouflage, or more importantly, the pattern, as it is not accepted here and will not be tolerated. So please do a bit more research to look into why if you want to know more. But my top suggestion is do not wear camouflage. Number 2, which is probably a very obvious one, but some people don't think about it, is do not come without travel insurance. There are a number of things that you can do on the island. You can do activities to do with water sports. You could go somewhat hiking, as there are a few landscape mountain type areas. And then you could also do activities that aren't related to water sports. However, if you get injured, it is very expensive to receive health care here. It is free, but obviously if you have your insurance, it would be the best way to go about paying it, as you would be considered a foreigner. So please be careful when you're walking around the island or doing any activities around the island, especially on the beaches actually, because I actually experienced yesterday, it would be a different day to you, but on the beach there was these 2 men out in the sea. They were drinking beer in the sea in the glass bottles, and they smashed it together. And at that point, one of the glass bottles smashed into the sea. I think they tried to pick it up, but you just need to be careful doing anything as you would anywhere. Number 3, I would have to say, do not walk on the beaches alone at night. This is pretty much a common sense one, but anything could happen to you. It is safe in Barbados. However, people could still rob you. It could be a tourist, it could be a local, you never know. But I would just like to stress that do not walk on the beaches alone for your own safety. You're walking at your own risk. At number 4, we have do not get into taxis that are not registered. So when you arrive in Barbados and you come outside of the airport, there will be a taxi post just outside. There may be people coming up to you, as there's going to be a long line of tourists, and there may be people coming up to you saying, I can get you in a taxi quicker, or come with me, you don't have to wait in the line. Please do not go with these people. They may not be registered, they may not be the line of taxis lining up. And if you do go into these taxis, you may pay a higher fee. The fees at the taxi post are already assigned to each parish. And at each parish, for example, my family and I came to Christchurch, that already had a fee of $40. So we knew what we was paying before we've even arrived at our Airbnb. So we paid 40 Bajan dollars and got here. However, I had seen some people who had got off the plane and gone with these taxi drivers who weren't going through the normal process and had left going to places like St. James's, which is one of the more expensive places to get a taxi to. And they actually ended up paying a lot more than what they would have probably had done had they stayed in the line. At number 5, we have do not get into a taxi in Barbados without agreeing the price beforehand. So obviously you're going to want to travel to different places around the island. You may want to use a taxi, and that's okay. However, you do need to agree what the price is, so the cost. You need to agree if it's in Bajan or US dollars. And then from then on, you can get into the taxi and go about your business. But just as a precaution, so that you don't find out it's actually a bigger bill at the end when you get out, you know what you're going into before you actually get into the taxi. At number 6, we have do not let any random person into your car. This may sound silly and quite obvious, however, there has been cases where people have let a local or someone who knows Barbados quite well into their car, and they've either been robbed, they have gotten to the end of where they are and they've directed them to the completely wrong place, or the person who's got in with them hasn't actually left them. They've stayed whilst they've had lunch, they've stayed while they went to bars, they just joined them on the trip and essentially got themselves a free night out. So that's something that could happen, but just be mindful that you're in another country, you may be with your family, maybe on your own, just be safe and make sure that you do not let anyone into your car and you only get directed from the exterior. Just to add in, and I just might have forgotten that one, they may also actually try and charge you a fee as a tourist guide. So them coming and joining with you, they may say, do you know what, I've kind of taken you around the island and shown you around of what we have to offer here, and essentially become your tourist guide. You need to pay us a $120 fee. That is a possibility of happening. It has happened, so just be careful. At number 7, we have do not go into public indoor spaces in a bikini or in trunks, assuming that you're a man not wearing a top. This is seen as quite disrespectful, frowned upon, and doesn't usually happen in day-to-day life here, so would not actually be agreed with if you used to do it in these public spaces. It's fine on the beaches and in the hotels, but if you're in the city, please be clothed, as this would be much more appreciated by the locals. And finally, at number 8, this is a bit of a funny one, but it's something that me and my family have experienced. So that is, do not take Bajan time as the local time that you would experience back home. And what I actually mean by this is, it is a very slow lifestyle here. It's relaxed, it's calming, people aren't trying to rush to get anywhere. So if somebody tells you, oh, it's 5 minutes down the road, and that's you trying to get to the Masi market or to a restaurant, and you want to walk, they don't mean 5-minute walk. That is a 5 minute in a Zeda or a ZM or a taxi service. So what I'll do here is ask them, is this for driving? Is this how you get here by, I don't know, getting on a motorbike, getting in a taxi, whatever your choice of transport is, be clear, because there was a time that me and my family were trying to get to a Masi market that we thought was 5 minutes away, but actually turned out to be about an hour walk away. I know the 5 minutes to the hour goes, but we kept getting told it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes by different locals. Understanding the time, do not take what the locals say is 5 minutes down the road as what it is. It is likely going to be longer if you are choosing to walk. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I hope that was really helpful. I hope you learned something new, and if you didn't learn anything new and you have something else to offer into the comments, please put it down so people can hear about it and learn things that they shouldn't do when they come to Barbados. But also, if you have something that you want to share with people about what you could do in Barbados, also feel free to put that into the comments. I would love to hear it. I really would love to come back to this country. It is where I am from. It's just a little bit expensive to get to, but one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had. So if everybody can share in the comments something that you've learned or some advice that you'd offer to people who are coming to Barbados, I would love to hear it, and I'm sure they would too. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you'd like to like, comment, subscribe, turn those notifications on, please do. I will still be posting videos to do with travel, as I'm going to be doing this throughout the years, and I've got a big one coming up at some point. But I will be doing things when I'm back in London or going to other cities, but I also may be going to a few other countries sort of in Europe up until 2025. And then beyond then, you'll have to stay and find out.